Welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel, and I'm now answering questions from the Test Your Understanding from my IGCSE tutorial on Unit 1, which is Arithmetic 1.10, about prime numbers and factors. So these are questions that are in my tutorial lessons, which you'll find the details of that in the description. And this is like the answers to the Test Your Understanding parts of those lessons. So we want to first, in question 1, part A, express 28 as a product of prime factors. Okay, so what we can do here is we can use either the ladder technique or the factor tree. I personally prefer the factor tree technique. So you take the number and you split it into two factors. Okay, and you can split it any way you want. So like 28, for example, I know that 28 is the same as 4 times 7. Now, if any of the factors is a prime number, you circle it. Of course, you cannot split up anymore after that. So 4 is not a prime number. It splits up into 2 times 2. So we can say that 28 is basically, let me just make a bit of space there. 28 is basically equal to 2 times 2 times 7, which is 2 squared times 7. As for part B, we start with 75, and we can do a similar thing. Now, I know that 75 is 3 times 25, so I can put 3 here and circle it, and 25 there. And 25 splits up into 5 times 5. So we end up with 3 times 5 squared. Okay, if you use the ladder method, you basically make a little kind of a ladder here. So you start with 28. You think the lowest prime number that fits into 28, well, that's 2. And 28 divided by 2 is 14. Is 2 still a factor? Yes. So you carry on with the 2. So 14 divided by 2 gives you 7. And there's 2, of course, 2 doesn't go into 7, nor does 3, the next prime number, nor does 5. The next prime number that goes into 7 is 7 itself. So you end up with a 1 at the bottom, which is where you stop. So 2 times 2 times 7. Similarly, the same thing with 75. Same thing would happen. Okay, so you'd start off with 75, and you wouldn't be able to put 2. 2 won't go into it, but 3 will. That will give you 25, and then 5, and then 5, and so on. Okay, but I'm going to stick to the factor tree method from now. So 1,000. Let's start with 1,000. Okay, so 1,000 we can say is 10 times 100. Okay, and 10 is like 2 times 5, so that's a prime number and a prime number. Now 50 we can say is the same as 100 is the same as 2 times 50, and 50 is the same as 2 times 25, and 25 is the same as 5 times 5. Okay, so you have 2 times 2 times 2, that's 2 cubed, times, and you have 5 times 5 times 5, that's 5 cubed. As you can see, I didn't need to put the brackets there, 5 cubed. As you can see, this is the same as 10 cubed. Okay, 10 cubed. This is a cube number. Both of them are multiples of multiples of 3. They're both multiples of 3, both those factors. So this is actually a cube number, which is going to be 10 cubed, as we know. Okay, 378. Let's think of an easy way of doing this. I can see that 3 plus 7 plus 8 gives me 18. So 3 goes into 18, so does actually 9. So to make it easier, we can divide by 9. Now 9 goes into 37 4 times, remainder 1. And 9 goes into 18 2 times, that's 42 times 9. Okay, so 9 becomes 3 times 3, those are both prime. Now 42 can split up into 6 times 7, that's prime. 6 becomes 2 times 3, and those are both prime. So we have 2 times, you got 3 cubed times 7. Okay, so that's how we split numbers up as product of their prime factors. That's number 1. questions A, B, C, and D. So if you had any problems with those, hopefully you can understand what to do now. As for number 2, it says, given that 27 times k is a square number, find the smallest possible integer value of k. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take 270 and I'm going to split it up into its prime factors. So I can think of this as 27 times 10. Now 10 will become 2 times 5, both prime. And 27, we have 9 times 3. So we have a 3 here and a 9 here. And the 9 also becomes 3 times 3. So we end up with 270 is equal to, we got 2 times 3 cubed times 5. So for it to be a square number, all of the factors have to have powers which are multiples of 2. Okay, so we can say if 270k is a square number, then 270k has to be basically 2 squared times 3 to the power of 4 times 5 squared. All right, so k has to equal what? Well, that 2 had to become 2 squared, so you have to multiply by 2. The 3 had to become 3 to the power of 4, so you have to multiply by 3. And the 5 had to become 5 squared, so you have to multiply by 5. That gives you 2 times 3 times 5, which is 60. So that means k has to equal 60. When k equals 60, each of these become, basically, the powers become multiples of 2. They become even numbers, right? So all of the powers have to have powers which are multiples of 2 in any square number. All right, so that's how we can work out. If you multiply 270 by 60, you'll get a square number. And that's the least that you can multiply by to get that square number. As for question number 3, it says, given that 972k is a cube number, find the smallest possible integer value of k. So again, let's take 972 and split it up into its different parts. So this is like, again, 9 goes into this because if you add the digits together, you get 18, and 9 goes into 18. So for 3 and 9, those are divisibility rules that will work. So that will make life easy for us. So we know that 9 is one of the factors, and the other factor, well, 9 goes into 9 one time, 9 goes into 7 0 times, and the remainder 7. So 9 into 72 goes 8 times. So 9 splits up into 3 times 3, which are both prime numbers. 108, well, again, 9 goes into this. The sum of the digits is 18, which 9 goes into. So 9 goes into 10 one time, remainder 1. 9 just is 12. We know that 12 9s are 108. We should remember that. So you have 12 times 9. Of course, the 9 becomes again 3 times 3. And the 12 becomes 3 times 4. And the 4 becomes 2 times 2. So we end up with 972 is equal to, we have 2 squared times, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 to the power of 5. Now, for this to be a cube number, 972k will have to equal what? 972k will have to be, to make it a cube number, all the powers have to be multiples of 3. So for 2 to become 3, it has to be multiplied by, that will have to become 2 cubed. That's the first multiple of 3 you'll find. And 3 to the power of 5 has to be 3 to the power of 6. So that means k must equal, we had to multiply by 2 to make that 2 cubed, multiply that by 3 to make it 3 to the power of 6. So k is equal to 6. So we know that k equals 6 is the smallest possible integer value of k that will cause 972 times k to be a cube number. Okay, so that's how you deal with such questions. It's quite a common question in the IGCSE exam. Now for number 4, it says, given that 150 times n is a multiple of 540, find the smallest possible integer value of n. Now, if something is a multiple of another number, then when you divide them, there's no remainder. Okay, so if you do 150 times n divided by 540, that should give you an integer. There should be no number left in the denominator, just 1. Okay, so that's how we're going to deal with this. But first of all, let's take 150 and 540 and split them up into their prime factors. So we can say this is like 10 times 15, and this is like 2 times 5, and this is like 3 times 5. So we can say 150, so we can say, write down here, 150 is equal to 2 times 3 times 5 squared. We can see that's 25 times 2 is 50 times 150, that's correct. And 540, we can say, let's start with 54 times 10. 10 is 2 times 5. And 54, we can say 9 goes into 54 6 times. So we have 9 times 6. And 6 is 2 times 3. And 9 is 3 times 3. So we end up with 540 is equal to, you've got 2, oops, 1 second, what did I do there? That's not supposed to be circled because it's not a prime number. Okay, so we have 2 times 2, which is 2 squared, times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 cubed, times, there's just one 5 here, right, times 5. So 150 times n, so 2 times 3 times 5 squared times n over 540, which is 2 squared times 3 cubed times 5. All right, so basically for this to be something where everything in the denominator cancels out, we're going to have up here, and let me change the color to make it clearer. We have to have up here, the 2's have to cancel out, so that you must have 2 squared here. And the 3's have to cancel out, so that must be 3 cubed. The 5's will also already cancel out, so there's no need to change anything for the 5's. So n is going to be what? We can see n is going to have to be, well, this was 2 before, 2 squared before, and this was 3. So this was 2 to the power 1, so we had to multiply by 2, and this is 3 to the power 1, that has to be multiplied by 3 squared. Okay, so that will give us things that cancel out. So if this 2 became 2 squared, if this 2 became 2 squared, you have to multiply by 2. And if the 3 became 3 cubed, you have to multiply by 3 squared. So the n must be 2 times 3 squared, which is 2 times 9, which is 18. So n is equal to 18. And that concludes this question, and it concludes this test your understanding. I hope that was clear and you understood how to deal with these questions. Other questions that you want to find from the rest of the units here, from the test your understandings, you can find them in the playlist that in the top right of the screen at the end of the video. That's like all the Unit 1, Arithmetic 1 questions dealing with those basic arithmetic topics. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe with the link up here. I'll also have a link here for my IGCSE prime numbers kind of playlists as well. Thank you for watching and see you soon. However, just a reminder that the tutorial lessons where I go through the lessons for these questions, you can find by clicking on the link in the description, and you can find how to access those. Thank you for watching. See you soon.